Today we're going to learn about community, and one aspect of community is maintaining our beautiful planet. 3 things we can do to maintain our beautiful planet is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. The book I'm going to read today is called Miss Rumphius, and it is a great book about maintaining our beautiful world. Miss Rumphius by Barbara Cooney. The Lupin Lady. A lupin is a really pretty flower. It looks like that. So, the Lupin Lady lives in a small house overlooking the sea. In between the rocks around her house grow blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. The Lupin Lady is little and old, but she has not always been that way. I know. She is my great aunt, and she told me so. Once upon a time, she was a little girl named Alice who lived in a city by the sea. From the front stoop, she could see the wharves and the bristling mass of tall ships. Many years ago, her grandfather had come to America on a large sailing ship. In the evening, Alice sat on her grandfather's knee and listened to his stories of faraway places. When he had finished, Alice would say, "When I grow up, I too will go to faraway places, and when I grow old, I too will live beside the sea." "That is all very well, little Alice," said her grandfather, "but there is a third thing that you must do." "What is that?" asked Alice. "You must do something to make the world more beautiful," he said. "All right," said little Alice, but she did not know what that could be. Then my great Aunt Alice set out to do the 3 things she had told her grandfather she was going to do. She left home and went to live in another city far from the sea and the salt air. She worked in the library, dusting the books and keeping them from getting mixed up. Some of the books told about faraway places. People called her Miss Rumphius now. Sometimes she went to the conservatory in the middle of the park. When she stepped inside on a wintry day, the warm, moist air wrapped itself around her, and the sweet smell of jasmine filled her nose. "This is almost like a tropical island," said Miss Rumphius, "but not quite." So Miss Rumphius went to a real tropical island. One day she met the Bapa Raja, king of a fishing village. "You must be tired," he said. "Come into my house and rest." So Miss Rumphius went in and met the Bapa Raja's wife. The Bapa Raja himself fetched a green coconut and cut a slice off the top so that Miss Rumphius could drink the coconut water inside. Before she left, the Bapa Raja gave her a beautiful mother-of-pearl shell on which he had painted a bird of paradise and the words, "You will always remain in my heart." "You will always remain in mine too," said Miss Rumphius. My great aunt, Miss Alice Rumphius, climbed tall mountains where the snow never melted. She went through jungles and across deserts. She saw lions and kangaroos. Everywhere she went, she made friends. She finally came to the land of the lotus eaters, and when getting off of a camel, she hurt her back. "What a foolish thing to do," she said. "Well, I have certainly seen faraway places. Maybe it is time to find my place by the sea." And it was, and she did. From the porch of her new house, Miss Rumphius watched the sun come up. She watched it cross the heavens and sparkle on the water, and she saw it set in the glory in the evening. She started a little garden among the rocks that surrounded her house, and she planted a few flower seeds in the stony ground. She was almost perfectly happy. "There is still one more thing I have to do," she said. "I have to do something to make the world more beautiful." "But what? The world is already pretty nice," she thought. The next spring, Miss Rumphius was not very well. Her back was bothering her again, and she had to stay in bed most of the time. The flowers she had planted the summer before had come up and bloomed in spite of the stony ground. She could see them from her bedroom window, blue and purple and rose-colored. "Lupins," said Miss Rumphius with satisfaction. "I have always loved lupins the best. I wish I could plant more seeds this summer so I could still have more flowers next year." But she was not able to. After a hard winter, spring came. Miss Rumphius was feeling much better, and she could take walks again. She started to go up and over the hill where she hadn't been in a long time. "I don't believe my eyes," she said. From there, she could see on the other side of a hill a large patch of blue and purple and rose-colored lupins. "It was the wind," she said as she knelt in delight. "It was the wind that brought the seeds from my garden here, and the birds must have helped." Then Miss Rumphius had a wonderful idea. She hurried home and got out her seed catalogs. She sent off to the very best seed house for 5 bushels of lupin seed. All that summer, Miss Rumphius, her pockets full of seed, wandered over the hills and headlands sowing lupins. She scattered the seeds along highways and down the country lanes. She flung handfuls of them. Her back didn't hurt her anymore at all. Now some people call her that crazy old lady. The next spring, there were lupins everywhere. Fields and hillsides were covered with the blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. They bloomed along the highways and down the lanes. Down in the hollows and along the stone walls grew the beautiful flowers. Miss Rumphius had done the third most difficult thing. My great Aunt Alice, Miss Rumphius, is very old now. Her hair is very white. Every year there are more and more lupins. Now they call her the Lupin Lady. When I grow up, I tell her, I too will go to faraway places and come home to live by the sea. That is all very well, little Alice, says my aunt, but there's a third thing you must do. What is that, I ask. You must do something to make the world more beautiful. All right, I say. But I do not know yet what that can be. It's important that we take care of our planet and leave it more beautiful than we found it. That is something Miss Rumphius did in the story when she planted all of her lovely flowers. In my project today, we're going to be making pet portraits out of natural, recyclable materials. It's important that we reduce, reuse, and recycle. When we're reusing materials, we are going to be making our pet portraits. This is my pet Gloria, and I'm going to make a portrait of her using all materials I just found around the house. Here are some possible materials you might use. I used some old book pages, newspapers, a cardboard Amazon package, construction paper, scissors, and glue. I'm using rubber cement. And a magazine. Here we're cutting open the Amazon package, and the inside had this white stuff that we used to look like fur. Here's an example of cutting out the newspaper and using the construction paper to add details. Here in my dog Gloria, I folded accordion style the old book pages to make her little fuzzy frilly hairs at the top. Here's the final product of all three of our pet portraits we made using natural materials.